This reading is about missed opportunities. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. And I just ask that we're grounded, present, and open to receive messages. I just bumped into a friend talking about going through airport security. And we have here a thing called Spot Saver, right? You can say you're going to show up at a certain time, go through the line like regular airport security. But it's supposed to be quicker, whatever. But what it brought up for me is thinking about that rush of traveling, whether, there's always a sense of anxiety, missing a flight, the possibilities that anything can happen. It's often said, like I've heard, you can meet your soulmate, you're more likely to meet your soulmate in the airport than you are on a dating app. So this, like I said, it was about missed opportunities. And sometimes we miss our flight, sometimes we miss our train, and it's sitting with that. And now what do? We still have to make this trip. Maybe we don't. Maybe we decide not to take this trip. Maybe the missed opportunity is on purpose, right? But let's go ahead and get into it. What's this missed opportunity? Justice, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. This was no joke. This feels like something that was bringing in fairness and balance into the things that you've been working really hard for. There's been calculations. There's been just really, really doing the work. And we've stepped in now, I think, into Aries season. And so looking at the full moon in Libra, what are we experiencing there? What sort of things are calling to be rebalanced as we move through this Aries season, and as we move through all of this different planets that are shifting into Aries and their long-term impacts, and how, when we look at the start of the show, we want to look at too, like what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in the opposite sister sign. And I think a possibility is, because Libra being an air sign, those thoughts, those missed opportunities, those things that you did, those times that you had that anxiety and you missed that flight and you missed that chance to tell somebody how you felt, like all these things I think are coming up. And it's kind of showing you like, well, this is why we are where we are. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. We did make choices to be here, whether you like them or not. So what do we need to know about acting in alignment and authenticity when it comes to this missed opportunity? Page of Swords, Emperor, 4 of Swords. This is planning, keeping it light, and surrendering control in the places that you don't have any control. And I think that's why the 4 of Swords is here, is knowing what things to focus on and what things to start over. What things to, okay, well, I've done the research and I know about this. I know that maybe I can get reimbursed. Maybe I can, give my ticket to somebody else. There's all these different things that you're able to see because now you're not having to move forward with this opportunity. So is it a missed opportunity, redirection? I think really the Emperor coming in with the 4 of Swords, Page of Swords, it's about redirection. All right, well, this didn't happen. What can we do next? I think some of you guys are curious too about this opportunity coming back. Never step in the same river twice, right? It just might not be exactly how you thought it was going to come back, or who, right? There's always variables. And in a lot of ways, when you think about it, like, do you want that exact thing? Maybe you do, and maybe this is something completely different, but allow yourself the perspective to see why this was missed and why it mattered so much in that moment and why you want it. There's so many questions to look into yourself and really see like what's going on when it comes to this opportunity. I did forget what I was originally trying to ask, but will it come back? Two of Cups reverse, Two of Wands. Yeah, but not the same. Not what you expected. Five of Swords. I think there's still some internal growth. What's the Two of Cups in reverse about? Ten of Pentacles. And I flipped the Two of Cups over when I was shuffling, and it came out regular. Queen of Swords. This is about reasserting boundaries and aligning yourself with the Ten of Pentacles so that your Two of Cups does feel like it's in the alignment that you want it to be in. It does feel safe, secure. You know, there is logic in it, but looking for it to come back around, I think there's a great deal of growth that's needing to happen for yourself. And what is this growth that's asking for you to step up? Empress. Saw the Emperor earlier. Ten of Wands. This feels like an energy where, you know, this is very specific, and I know there's a lot of people that did watch the show Game of Thrones, when there's also people that didn't. And I think of Cersei Lannister and the way that she kind of commanded under stress, because she had a lot of secrets and she was manipulative. And I think this is like an accumulation of you not being honest with yourself, and those lies becoming reality, those lies becoming things that feel heavy around you and have started to show up. And so this growth, how do we release this Ten of Wands? Because that's heavy, and that's a weight that you don't want. These three flipped out. King of Cups, Three of Swords reverse, Two of Cups. Again, it goes back to that alignment, that emotional security, alignment, mirroring. I think you saw something in yourself, in another person, and it was difficult to accept. And your ability to look at it, like, you want to let go, and you have to let go. A lot of the mental energy that we saw, right, the heaviness that we were seeing, is because they're still holding on to certain ideas or beliefs, and that's what's keeping you out of this misalignment. And so I feel like I could keep pulling cards on this and keep going into the details, but sitting with yourself and allowing the things that come up, and you believing it, and you not shoving it somewhere. And it's a mindfulness practice, right? Oh, I seeing this thought come through, and it's allowing it to move through and not stick to you and not be your reality. You can acknowledge it, you can see it, and experience the energy of it, but it does not have to be you and what you believe. And I think with the Empress and the Ten of Wands coming through, it's like all this heaviness that you've received around you, and how you can move that energy out, whether it's through fascia relief, somatic therapies. There's a lot going on in your body that as you clear that, the thoughts that have been heavier, I think, will be also easier to move through and clear. But really just sitting with yourself to accept the things that are coming through. There's a general need for just acceptance, and knowing that we had the Emperor earlier, right? It was about control. You don't always have control of everything around you. And sometimes when we try to control things more, it becomes messier and painful, and we hurt people and we hurt ourselves, and then we don't know how to come out of it. And I think that's where you are. So let's go ahead and close out. Hermit reverse, you've done what you've needed to do on the inside. And just because you're isolating doesn't mean you're integrating. This is about integrating. This is about accepting the hard truths. And it's because it's what's right. Because this is about showing up like the person that you see yourself as and staying as that person, not just pretending, not just putting on an act for a certain amount of time. This is follow through. This is being uncomfortable and moving through those moments, because that's what offers growth. And I think you're tired of feeling pain and suppression. So this is doing the right things for yourself. All right? Much love.